Hi, everyone, and welcome to the SAIL presentation on college application packages. My name is Kasana, and I'm presenting today with my partner, Michael. So there are a lot of things that go into your college application package, but it's important to not feel stressed as we help walk you through it. So generally, you will apply for your colleges of choice online. Mandatory items that you will need to have prepared include a personal statement, your resume, your high school transcript and grades, and some facts about your life outside of high school. Some colleges may also ask for letters of recommendations, your SAT or ACT test scores, and an interview further along the process. The website below also goes into great detail for your benefit.
A couple of key things to keep in mind when you're filling out your application. You want to make sure that you know your deadlines. A lot of the deadlines for college applications will be somewhere in January or February. You want to make sure to read the instructions carefully and make sure you know exactly what you need. Some schools need test scores, some schools need transcripts, some schools need more letters of recommendation than others. And that's another reason why you want to make sure to fill them out before the deadlines so that you have time to get in extra materials if you forget something or you need something extra. And most importantly is to ask for help. A lot of times you can go into your college career center at your high school, or you can email the admissions office at the university or the school that you're trying to apply for, and they'll answer any questions that you might have.
And as with anything, organization is the key to the stress-free process. Make sure to read through the instructions clearly and include all the required information. You will need the same few documents, so it's best to have copies on hand in a special binder or folder. Examples include your driver's license, your social security card, tax info, etc. You'll also want to prioritize things that may take the longest. So for example, you might need to mail your transcript. So you wouldn't want to wait until the week of the deadline to do that. I think that organizing ahead of time will definitely save you in the long run.
So when you're applying for college, you'll find that there are two really common options. You have a 4-year university or a 2-year community college. The big difference there is often the price. So 4-year universities are going to be a lot more expensive on average. You also have a lot of times bigger class sizes because there's more people, as well as because you're going to be in school for a little bit longer, you'll have better job opportunities afterwards, because you'll have that bachelor's degree instead of an associate's degree. And in our area, the 4-year college that we tend to look at is the University of Oregon, and the community college is Lane Community College.
So one of the most important parts about this process is the personal statement. This is really your time to shine as an individual, so that stresses out a lot of students sometimes. Some tips to make it easier include knowing exactly what is asked of you, aka reading the prompt carefully and knowing when it's due. This is usually a good place to show the college how you succeed in difficult situations. So try to write about an important lesson that you've learned before. These prompts will include word counts, so make sure you're sticking within the guidelines. It's always a good idea to have someone proofread your work. So if you can, ask an English teacher, a counselor, or a family member if you can.
All right, so a few things to keep in mind when you're building a resume for these opportunities. You want to be simple and to the point. You want to make sure to highlight the experience that's related to the job you're applying for. A lot of times that includes any achievements that you have or skills that you've worked on in the past. You want to make sure that you have reliable references. A lot of times the universities and colleges are going to want to call your references and find out more about you. And you can always list any volunteer work or extracurricular activities too. Really, the resume is just a good way for universities or job opportunities to get to know you better.
And transcripts are also something that require precaution. There are two types of transcripts, so make sure which one is required to be from the college. Unofficial transcripts are ones that are seen as a student copy and can be accessed easily. Official transcripts are usually sent directly from your high school to the college privately. This method can take longer, so again, be sure to check those deadlines. Your GPA, while it doesn't have to be perfect, should also be in good standing. You'll want to challenge yourself in high school if possible, either by taking honors courses or courses that give you a head start with college credits. If you're ever worried about your GPA alone, don't forget that colleges also like students that are well rounded. So don't forget about extracurricular activities that you do or community service to help back you up.
And here we see just kind of a little bit of stats on how much universities tend to care about the extracurriculars. If you look at that graph, it actually ends up being the biggest portion of what they go into your application, um, which is why you really want to put in as many things as you can, uh, but also don't be too strict on it, because a lot of people think like, oh, it only counts if I volunteered for a organization that like really helped people or something like that. But a lot of times they just want to know what you did with your time. And that can include anything from volunteering to playing sports after school, being a part of a club, um, any jobs that you had, or even if you're like babysitting your siblings after school, just anything that you spent your time doing is generally what they want to know with the extracurricular part.
And just like many jobs, colleges may also ask you to provide recommendations or reference letters. They usually don't allow for family members or friends to write them for you, as with most things. And instead, look for letters from teachers, coaches, bosses, advisors, etc. Since many of these people may already have a lot of students asking for the same thing all at the same time, to be respectful of their time, you should give them as much notice as possible, like 1 to 2 months ideally.
And some college application processes include interviews. Uh, Interviews can be really scary, but there are some really good tips to make them a little bit less scary. And the number one is probably to be yourself. Again, when people are interviewing you for an opportunity, generally they just want to know who you are. And the more that you can be yourself, the better off you're going to be. Uh, Make sure to speak up so that they can actually hear you tell them about yourself. Make good eye contact. Um, Greet them politely. Make sure that you're just being really clear and professional about it. And it always helps to thank the interviewers for for their time and the opportunity after the fact, um, so that they know you appreciated the opportunity.
There's no secret to choosing the right college, but there are some tips. Location is a big one. You know, do you need to be close to your family and friends? Are you open to an adventure far away? Can you handle cold or hot climates? Are you okay with getting around by bus everywhere? For price, you'll want to remember that private colleges or colleges that are out of state do require a higher tuition fee. For size, do you work better in class sizes that are small, or does sitting with 500 other students excite you? You'll also want to look at what types of majors are offered, the sports culture and type of college that you want to attend. Examples include research focused colleges, liberal arts schools, or 2 year community colleges. And we want to thank you so much for watching today. We hope you learned a lot, and please stay in touch with SAIL using the information below. Bye.